Hello and welcome back. Last episode, a dog continued to collect everyone. It seems to be the only thing I'm saying. But yeah, he killed Bunny using a game, and he collected Ox. Now he's hiding out, and he's waiting for one of us to challenge him. So I guess this is our turn. I guess we choose. Well, he chooses the game, but we know we can beat him. We know he's a cheat. So. With that, I guess we just move on instantly and try and get to the end of it. If you want to survive, your only option is to get someone who hasn't challenged me to challenge me, and for them to win. So come on, get to convincing. Dragon looked painfully at us. She was in a really tough situation. I don't envy her. On the other hand, it was a tall order to convince anyone to challenge Dog. After all, everyone so far had lost him, even when they got close to their ideal game. Their prospect of dying upon losing to Dog was an incredible distinctive to challenge him. And there wasn't any real motivation to challenge him. At present, even though Dog had plenty of leverage, it was mostly an empty threat to those who hadn't yet challenged him. If things stayed on course, Dog would still be unable to fill his personality win condition. Not with everyone against him. He could use this, the personality he had currently, tamed his leverage. But once they died, he'd be forced to resort back to challenging us once at a time if he wanted to win. But if we did nothing, horse, tiger, dragon, and ox would die. Was it right to abandon like that? It wasn't. I steeved myself. However, right as I was about to say something, Snake stepped forward. Very well, I suppose the task falls to me. Nope, Snake, don't do it. Finally, a challenger. I knew you were from one, Snake. Care to join me in a battle of wits? Comparing any of the games we've seen so far as a battle of wits is like comparing a parallel to poetry. But I'm reasonably confident in my abilities no matter which game you choose. Chess, go for it, Snake. Oh wait, no, he doesn't choose, does he? All I've seen from you is parlor tricks designated to exploit your opponent's intellectual blind spots. Perhaps this comes across as arrogant, but I possess no such blind spots. I will be no easy opponent. Yeah, that's absolutely comes across as extremely arrogant. But I guess you're not that wrong, really. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, and while you've got plenty of weaknesses, Snake, I'll concede that speaking intellectually, you're fairly well rounded. I certainly won't be able to pull any cheap tricks. So then, the question is, what do you play against you? I could hear Dog tapping his forehead while looking through the list. Well, let's have fun. Let's have some fun, why don't we? Looks like you've already been having fun. Let's play Russian Roulette. Oh, Ken. Dog re-entered the room. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, Dog, but I don't believe I believe we need a gun for that. Oh, like these? Dog pulled out 2 guns out of his pockets. Holy cow. What the hell, Dog? Where'd you get those? They were under the dartboard. Figured to hold on to them. If you had those, why'd you have to... why have you been acting all defenseless? You literally have a gun. You have a gun. Yeah, well, I didn't think to grab bullets at the time. And if any of you saw me grabbing bullets, I'd probably get decked. Or be decked. I figured it'd be... I figured it would be that much trouble to get this set up. I may as well play things fairly straight. But now we've got a great excuse. I must ask, what are the rules of Russian Roulette constitute? The tradition is fairly ambiguous, but not normally a competition. Well, I guess I've got to come up with some rules for this, huh? Dog took a moment to think to formalize his thoughts. Okay, let's go with this. To start with, if you ever shoot yourself in the head, if you ever shoot, that's obviously an instant loss, regardless of the any other context. Also, whenever you shoot, you will have to spin the cylinder enough so that it's totally random. We'll each have a gun with 6 bullets. When you load them, we can load any amount of bullets we want into the gun. None, 6, doesn't matter to me. Next, we show our guns. Whoever loaded more bullets wins. But the catch, right? Both players have to fire the gun at themselves before a winner can be declared. He says that he hasn't said the number of times we can pull the trigger, and he also says we don't have to pull it. We can't fire at the other player. All we have to do is that we have to shoot at ourselves before the other players. Even if the loser has to shoot. Exactly. To avoid a both dead situation, the loser will shoot first. If we put an equal amount of bullets, the game then becomes who is willing to fire at themselves more. If I fire, then you fire, then I fire, and you're not willing to fire again, I'd win. If we fire an equal amount of times, and neither of us are willing to shoot again, then we restart from the beginning. Will all that fly with you? I must say it's a bit unorthodox, but I guess I don't have much of a choice on the matter, do I? I'm sad to say, yeah, you don't. In that case, go get the bullets. Dog nodded and obliged. To the side, Monkey whispers to me. It's honestly quite a fascinating puzzle. Really, it seems pretty luck-based to me. Certainly, chance is a factor. However, there's also a psychology problem at play. If you put more than 3 bullets, 3 bullets than win or lose, you're more likely to not die anyway. The worst situation is would be having less bullets than your opponent and still having the possibility of shooting yourself. In that sense, if you think you're going to have less bullets, then it would be best to put no bullets and simply hope the opponent kills himself. But if you put no bullets, your opponent could just put 1 in and they would win at very low risk. That's also worth noting that the loser fires first. If you think your opponent is going to shoot themselves, shoot for the moon with 4 or 5 bullets, that would be pretty worth simply putting in all 6 in the hopes that they kill themselves. That seems way too risky to move. Again, he hasn't stated any rules against shooting the other opponent. If you put 5 or 6 in, and the other part puts 1 and 2 in, it'd be over like that. One thing is clear, it's almost impossible to win this game without some amount of risk. You're telling me, bro, Dog's gonna put 6 bullets in. That's a shame. I've always wanted to try rushing Roulette. What? You strictly suicidal? No, I'm not, of course. I'm just saying, it's intriguing. I do like the idea of the game, if it wasn't life-threatening. Feeling the weight of the gun against your head and the thoughts that must enter your head as you slowly pull the trigger, the unsure atmosphere after you've pulled the trigger between heaven and hell. It's surely a fascinating experience from a professional point of view, of course. Okay, learned a bit about Monkey there. I certainly took a step away from Monkey and made my mental note to consider changing therapists after we got out of here. Oh, that's funny. Anyways, while we had been talking, Dog and Snake had prepared everything. They held the pistol. They each held a pistol and 6 bullets. They nodded. They nodded at each other and brought their items under the table. After the time passed, both were ready. Ready to begin. I've loaded all my bullets. Have you yours? Yep. Then let's show. Snake held up his gun. I've loaded 4 bullets in my gun. 4? Oh man, that's quite a few bullets. What on earth would prompt you to do that? On one hand, it might seem like quite the risk of my life. However, the odds of me, my odds should be considered higher than 1/3 when you consider, well, that by loading 4, I'm nearly guaranteed my victory. I suspect that you've loaded 2 or 3. He's loaded all 6, bet you. In worst case scenario, you've loaded 2, and you have a 1 in 3 chance of killing yourself. And failing that, I have a 1 in 3 chance of surviving. Achieving 2 in 3 odds is sort of a gamble, perfectly acceptable by me. Neat thought process you've got there, Snake. Fortunately for you, I'm a real scaredy cat. Held up his gun. I've only loaded 1 bullet. And I'll be honest, I thought you were going to load 0 bullets. Well, that's quite unfortunate. You're telling me. Looks like we're completely misread each other. I think this works well, mostly for me though. I'm afraid you're right. But yet, I'm yet to be stung. Oh, Snake, no. That's unfortunate. Right, I could shoot myself now. Let's see what happens, shall we? Without so much as a second thought, Dog began rapidly spinning his cylinder. Then he held the pistol to his side of his head and fired. Click. He didn't roll a 1. That's that. Now time for you to spin. Your unwavering confidence in the face of danger is commendable. I wish I had your resolve. Getting cold feet? Yes. Let us hope my time in the military... Okay, then. Gee, I didn't know that. Snake served in the military. Time in the military? There's many different types of pistols. And there's a funny... detect about some of them. Defect, sorry. Many let weight affect how they spin around each cylinder. By examining it, I think this one is such a pistol. I've loaded my 4 bullets in a line by shifting the center of gravity with the chamber so drastically. It should be likely that I end up with a bulletless shot. Wow, cute theory. Will it work? We'll find out. Snake held the pistol straight up, then gave it a few spins. He let the cylinder come to a natural stop, and then he brought it to the side of his head. He took a deep breath in. Platitude. Platitude acta est fabula. Oh, a Latin quote from, I believe, well, I wouldn't say Plato, but obviously not. But I knew what it I think it came up in Zero Escape. And he pulled the trigger. Click. Ah. Appears my gambit finally paid off. I'm sorry to inform you, Dog, but you're no longer in a lamb. Snake was shot through the head. His body went limp in his chair. Wow, I felt the urge to vomit. Sitting across from Snake, God held the gun with a blank look on his face. Dog? What the hell are you doing? I made the rules perfectly clear, didn't I? The cylinders must be spun so that the shot is completely random. Snake always so eager to prove your cleverness. But if he just shut up, he wouldn't have got away with it. He didn't cheat. The pistol was built like that. Or really, then Brian, if Snake didn't cheat, execute me right here and right now. There was a long pause, silence when Brian looked in the air. Well, that settles it. So up next, Dog leaned over to grab the gun from Snake's one hand and took a second to process what he was doing. But once I realized it, I immediately began running. Get away! My warning spurred other spectators to start hiding out. I slid behind the others nearby as soon as cover. Bullet whizzed around my side and I almost grazed my jacket. Oh no! Why are you running? Why is he going after us? Using Russian roulette as an excuse, Dog had gained control of the situation. The only way to approach him now would be to use the taming whip. But who could challenge him? Us. Pig, sheep, monkey. No, I knew what I had to do. What I should have already done before Snake challenged him. I ran towards the nearest empty room. And with the safe, I turned on my tablet and pressed the item button. I input the code. And congratulations, you've begun to an attempt on Tame Dog. Please wait for Dog to select the game, and you will challenging him to. With that, he couldn't harm me without interfering with the game. I walked back to the comms, and Dog was looking fairly miffed. Those dogs had already tamed were standing around, but those still clear had fled. Yeah. Those who were still clear fled the nearby hiding spots and scared off by the gun. Well. So it comes to this. That it has. I had a feeling I'd face you down before this was done. Did you now? Well, to be fair, I had a feeling I'd face most of you people. Before I agree anything, I've got a request. Hit me. I want you to place the guns over by the couch. What, why? I think that even if I win, you might be such a sore loser, you're going to try and kill me. For real? That's a totally uncool thing to do. Yeah, I feel like you don't have any qualms with being cold and cool. You really think I'd do something like that? I wouldn't put it past you. Well, if it makes you happy. Doug walked over to the nearby couch and placed both pistols down. Is that good enough for you? Yep. Now pick a game for us to play. Okay, on it then. Dog whistled as he looked through the list of games. There were 2 dead bodies in his room. How could he act so nonchalantly? He didn't really care about anything. No, that couldn't be right. If he didn't, he wouldn't be going through all of this. I could be lame and just choose a game already done, but that's no fun. Let's just go with a classic. You seem like a very honest person, Mouse. I try to be. Then you should struggle at Liar's Dice. Ooh. Okay. Liar's Dice. Never heard of it. It's one of the classics. Essentially, we both have some dice. We roll our die and hide them under so we can only we can see them. Then we take turns making offers. Any subsequent offer has to be bigger. So of 1, 1, that would be the smallest offer. Then 1, 2, and then 1, 3, and then way up to 1, 6, then 2 1s, and so on. And the offer, the offers are guesses of how many of the certain type of roll there are cumulative between both our group of dice. The person who lost the last round has to make the first offer. Eventually, the offer will get so high that one of us has to can call it. And then the offer is called, the die will be revealed. If the person who made the offer was right, if there are usually at least, if there really was at least like 4 or 5s or whatever, then the person who called loses. On the other hand, if there are less than 4 or 5s, the person who made the offer loses. The loser gives 1 of their die, and the game continues until whoever lost the die to the first says an offer. What? Okay, I think I understand. When you run out of die, that's the game. Understand? Yeah, okay. I think I understand. Great. Let's get started. Dog walk over and grab some die out of the vending machine. I steeled myself. That was it. This was realistically our last chance to stop him. Everyone was counting on me, because no one else knows the thing. You got this, Mouse. Beat him. Be careful, Mouse. Thank you. I understand Horse is not saying anything because it's Horse, and I think I've got a large amount of respect for Horse, and he's done nothing. Obviously, it wouldn't be easy. As usual, Ox was no help. But I was thankful for the motivation the others gave me. It filled me with a sense of strength. Who cared if Dog had won all the other games? Everyone's luck ran out eventually. This was the end of the line for the Dog. I faced him down with down the other tablet. I faced him down over the table. Then he took out 4 dice from his pocket. We each get 4? Oh no, we each get 2. 2. Keep things nice and succinct. There we go. I was already getting a bad feeling, but I kept that to myself. Since you're the challenger, you can make the first offer. So now let's roll. Dog's command: we rolled our dice. We rolled with one hand and shielded them for the view with the others. I rolled a 1 and a 3. It didn't seem ideal, but I had to make the first offer. And there was it was possible for me to bluff right out of the gates and say a number I didn't have, like 6. Affirmatively, I could just say one number that I had. I'm gonna go 1-1, I guess, because I've got one. Because, as he said, he thinks we're an honest player. So we'll show him what we're honest. So it's small. Dog gave me a smirk and instantly answered in kind. 1-3. 1-3. So he also had 1-3. Cool, so that's 2 3s each. 3 3s. Why not? Because, no doubt he would have 2 of the same one, right? And we've got 1, 3 3s. Damn. Guess I got a bad feeling about it. But I guess I'll try it for 4 3s. 4 3s? That was a definite win. Call. I showed my hand, 1-3, and with glee. Dog turned, showed 2 3s and with reluctance. Well, you win some and lose some. With that, I'd won the first encounter. I already had. As a loser, Dog tossed away one of his dice. More than anything, he looked determined. Oh, because now he's got 6 possible things to lie with. I wasn't going to back down. Neither was I. He wasn't going to back down. Neither was I. Time to roll. And like that, we made our fatal rolls. I was super duper focused on my die, willing to let them be good. A 2 and a 4. Okay. So I feel like he's got to have a 4 as well, right? I mean, they're in the middle. Unless he's going to go for a 1 or a 6. Didn't seem like didn't seem bad, but not bad at all. Dog looked at his hand for a bit, and then he spoke. 1-2. 1-2. What response was that? Let's go 1-6. I'll try and mess with Dog. If I'd lose, if I played naturally. Maybe an orthodox play would knock him off the balance. 1-6. Dog clearly wasn't expecting this response. After a while, he spoke up. 2 5s. 2 5s? I had no idea where that came from, but it definitely was wrong. Call. Call. I showed my hand. 2 and a 4. He scowled and showed his hand. It was a 5. Which meant... so I win. Seems like it. Yes. Hell yes. So yeah, see. That's a win. Clean and simple. No tricks, no cheat. I had beaten Dog. Seeing that he had lost, he didn't get angry or happy or sad. His face became empty. So that's how it goes. Yeah, it is. I guess I should congratulate you or something. Well done. You've beaten me. Whoopee. You're not. You don't sound too happy about it. Of course I'm not. Well, you don't sound too upset either. Well, yeah. Well, it was going to end up like this. I wish one of you had won sooner. If I ask why you did this, will I get a straight answer? Isn't it obvious? No. I want to survive. No, I don't think you picked it. I don't think you particularly did. Yeah, I suppose you're right. It would have been so much easier, if a bit less fun, to just give up and willingly get executed. But I guess I had a bit of resolve after all. Resolve? Resolve to what? To kill people? A resolve to help bury demons. Bury demons. Why do you care? It's not like any of this matters. None of this matters. 2 people are dead. That's life. You really don't care about life? I do sometimes. Incidentally, but it's not really worth it. You sound like an emo teen. A generous comparison, I'd say. But take it from someone double your age. It isn't just a phase. It's an observation made from actual life experience. As a cop, I ran into so many cases. So much violence, so much death. And the more cases you see, the more you realize how pointless life... And the more cases you see, the more you realize how pointless they all are. Some kid who grew up in an unwinnable position. Some ridiculous accident that leads to the perfect murder opportunity. Some vengeful bankrupt business owner screwed by the deal of a random fluctuation of the market. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. People die, people kill, people live for reasons all entirely beyond their control. And it was the people who felt the need to be in the most control who got messed over the hardest. And the police, the ones trying to control the chaos, Turns out the chief of them was busy blackmailing his subordinates to do his job properly. Dog, what are you talking about? The chief of police, Bowen, blackmailing his subordinates? No way to stop him. Part of the reason why I quit, opened a bar. As a bartender, you hear a lot of stories from bitter drunkards. More tales of arbitrary suffering in a ridiculous world. Perhaps it's all a bit too nihilistic for you all, a bit too dramatic. But that's because you haven't had your number called on Hell's Roulette. Step in those shoes and step in those shoes of those who experienced it enough times, and you'll start seeing what I'm talking about. Hence, I decided a long time ago, clinging too much to anything's a wash. I feel like this is. Dog is a well-written character, I think. He's calm most of the time until he knows it's in the bag. Then he'll take it. But like, if he loses, he doesn't thrash out because he's got life experience, and I feel like a bar and like alcohol is a perfect coping method of someone in this narrative to deal with. I'm not saying drink to cope with things, but I'm saying I think the way Dog was written very well. Best to focus on enjoying the present, all else be damned. Well, I guess I didn't really commit that decision. I didn't really commit to that decision, seeing how this all turned out. You still haven't explained yourself. I wonder how much Brian knows. I can't possibly think it's all coincidence that this is the case that sparked a huge death game. No, this was way too random. I mean, what are the odds that the case that spawns a mass kidnapping just so happens to be the case that Bowen's been secretly investigating for years now? Bowen's been investigating it? Then are you saying, no, don't get me wrong. Morris is clearly guilty, but it's been proven several ways to hell and back. We just don't know everything about it. I guess that would chalk up to Bowen's secret obsession with the fact that it was his older brother that got murdered. I mean, he was in a real state on the 11th that it happened. But that's not it at all, trust me. Then what is it? Instead of answering, Dog leaned down and reached into his boot. Out of his left shoe, he took an intrinsic a golden knife. What are you doing? You know, it was a gift from Bowen. Bowen's not a good man, but we're friends nonetheless. Neat. The knife was an actual part of a pair. And it has an identical twin, you could say. Okay, Harry Potter. The knife was also quite intrinsically designed. If you press down here and here, Dog pressed down parts of the handle, and the base of the knife popped down, revealing a small compartment. You get a neat little hidey hole. I keep the knife on me at all times, and by extension, I keep whatever's stored in the hidey hole with me at all times. For a while, it was a roll of $100 bills. But recently I changed it to this. Dog reached down and pulled out a small metal cast cyanide. He's gonna poison himself. He held it in one hand, and with his other he started to screw it. And then, oh no, it was a flashbang. All I could see is white. It was a flashbang. Why would he set that off? I had movement in front of me in rapid movement, but my ears heard a high whining noise, and I knew that reality wasn't there. I was so disordered I couldn't react. Someone was close to me. Dog is killing me. It's probably Dog rushing me. Crap. Time felt like it was slowed, but I couldn't do anything to react. Then bang. Took a couple of seconds longer to react to my eyes. When I came back, I saw Dog lying to the side where I stood, face down, holding the knife in his left hand and a bullet hole through the back of his head. He was clearly springing towards me with the knife. Dragon in front of me held a pistol with his hand without his hands shaking. Thank you, Dragon. Dragon saved my life. And people I don't know. I don't remember what my reaction was when I first met her, but I'm glad she is. She probably wouldn't want like to hear this, but I'm glad she's caring enough to save me. So she must have reacted fast enough to save me. But if Dog had died, the worried look on Dragon's face told me that this realization also dawned on Dragon. Dragon Eye. Before I could hear anything, I heard several ugly noises. Tiger, horse, dragon, and all ox all cried out in pain. Their knees buckled, and oh no. Their knees buckled, and they scratched at their throats. They shouted through their bleeding vocal cords. All their calls had been activated. All of them had been executed. It was a horrific sign. So, Rooster's part of the surviving crew. Why, Rooster? Alright, so Mouse, Pig, Monkey, and Rooster. There's only 4 left, right? Because Snake and Bunny were dead, and we just lost Dog, Ox, Horse, Tiger, and Dragon. So, yeah. We've only got the... God damn it. With 1 bullet, 5 were dying. I just stood there frozen. What could I do to save them? Nothing. After all, I was just left not with grief, no horror or anger, but utter confusion. What was Dog after? What was Dog after just then? Because he's probably going to hold Mouse hostage, because then everyone would still have to do what they said. Because if Mouse died, then Dog would die, but then everyone else would die. Why would he try and kill me, knowing it would kill him and kill the other 4? I couldn't think of a single reason. I stood there. It didn't take long for all the bodies to hit the floor. Bunny, Snake, Dog, Horse, Tiger, Dragon, and Ox. 7 people were dying around me. Or lay dead around me. And it leaves 5 left. Mouse, Pig, Rooster, Monkey. Who are we missing then? That's 4. 4 out of the remaining... Yeah. Who all... and Sheep. Sheep. That's who it is. Oh, man, I feel sorry for him. It was a graveyard. Oh, my... Oh, Ken. You. I'm ending this here, and I'm going to react to him next time, because I'm not happy that he shows up now, of all times. Thank you for going through this with me. But that's it. Yeah. Bye.